at the end, putting for PayPal and for Venmo. All right. So,
can I ask a question, Mac? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
When you purchase a ticket and it says if you want extra money to go to your practitioner, does that money go to you?
Yes, that also goes to him.
Yeah.
But sometimes people just use the free option and then they love it and they want to donate. So.
Okay, I used the other last night, but so I just, thanks for clarifying.
Thank you. Appreciate that. So the last 4 Fridays I've taught through WellSet and the Healer Collective, and I've been teaching this Qigong form that's very foundational to the lineage that I studied. It's called Gong, which is longevity Qigong, and they're very simple movements to unlock stagnation in the body, to create fluidity and integration between the joints, connecting breath and movement, and really helping people to palpate qi and to feel this unseen life force energy. If these movements are done correctly and daily, they can be incredibly powerful for one's longevity, well-being, and health. I lived in China for 7 months in 2017 at this Taoist temple in the Wudong Mountains called Five Immortals Temple. And I studied there for 7 months in Qigong, Tai Chi, and Kung Fu, and Chinese medicine. And so I've been on this path of the healing arts for a long time, but that was like a very poignant time in my transformational journey. So here it goes. I look forward to sharing this this beautiful practice with you. So let's find ourselves in a standing position. Feet wide apart, shoulder width apart, feet parallel. Hang your hands by your sides. Take a breath in. Arrive here, your feet connected to the ground. Becoming present. Grounding in for the moment. So I like to bow in to open the practice space. It's a very formal practice. So we step forward, the left foot, and then the hands come up into a bow. So the right hand grabs the left thumb, like in a fist, and then the hand wraps over the top. And we bow from the heart towards the camera, towards each other, honoring the collective field that we create together, honoring the student to teacher relationship and the lineage of teachers that comes through me. I bow to my master Li Shifu in China. Thank you for all the transmissions. And I step back. And I like to bow in all directions, honoring the human collective, the elements, all living things on this planet. Bring my hands up to salute to the sky, to the cosmos, the great beyond. And then I bow my head down to the ground and I bow to the earth, honoring the earth and all of the abundance that comes from the earth. And then putting my hand on my heart and one hand underneath my navel and just honoring myself for showing up today, for being curious, for being part of this adventure, honoring yourselves. And allow your arms to float down by your side. You can start moving your hips from side to side, keeping your head in one position. And the knees are externally rotated out. Arms are long, swaying with the movement. I'm putting like a S wave through my spine. My sacrum and my hips are moving from side to side as this wave is moving from side to side through each vertebrae. You can bring your shoulders and your ribs into it, so the shoulder and ribs comes down to meet the hip. It's very nourishing to the spine, and it starts to massage the viscera, massage the connective tissue between the organs. Breathing naturally in and out through your nose. Move each vertebrae going up from the sacrum to the lumbar to the thoracic, the cervical. Now moving your shoulders more from side to side, accentuating the movement in the mid-back. You might hear an interesting noise in your lungs, like a passive sawing noise as the connective tissue starts moving, and it's really good for the detoxification of the internal organs. And coming to a close, feet together, moving the knees in a circle, and the hips, and then the chest and ribs move around in a circle in unison with the knees, hips, the head. Try to keep in one position right over your feet, and the whole body is waving and circling around like you're like a spinning top. Sometimes it's hard to coordinate the knees, hips, and the chest all moving in this way. You can isolate it just in the chest and the spine. It's like the chest comes forward and then drops back. So I'm moving the rib cage and the spine in a circle, massaging through the internal organs. I'll turn to the side at times to show you the side view, different sides of my body. And now reverse the direction with the knees, the hips, and the chest. Warming up the joints. You can isolate it just in the chest. Integrating the movement. And as you do these rotational movements, just hold your breath for a moment and listen to your lungs. So take an inhale through your nose and hold and just listen internally. It's like this passive breath that's taking place. And just continue breathing. All right, coming to close for that movement, we do a spinal wave. So this wave starts in the hips and releases upwards through the head. So from forward to back. So we did from side to side, we did circular, and now we do forward to back. The spinal wave comes up and then pours down. It's as if you're standing on an edge of a cliff and there's a great wind coming up and you're this billowing sheet in the wind. Rolling up and releasing down, articulating each vertebrae in the spine. And just do this for, 10 minutes straight and just get really into the minute movements of each vertebrae. This is really good for the back health, removing pain from the back. Now what's the opposite of that movement? We go down and up and back around. So you dive under and arch upwards and then pour down. Reverse the direction. Breathing naturally, however you're called to breathe. Couple more. And releasing that, I did the arm circles or shoulder circles. Step the right foot forward, left foot back. That. And the hands are going to move in opposite directions. And you twist. So I'm twisting open from side to side. Finding the coordination to move the arms in opposite directions. If that's hard for you, you can also just move one shoulder at a time. And you can slap the hands. And then switch feet and then move the opposite direction. It can be very challenging to find this coordination. You can speed it up, or you can slow it down. If you have a compromised rotator cuff, then doing one shoulder at a time, or just doing shoulder rolls like this can be really nourishing. Warming up the rotator cuff and the scapula, encouraging the scapula to slide along the rib cage, rolling your shoulders forward, and then shaking out. If you feel called to turn on your cameras, a lot of you have your cameras on already, but if you feel called to turn on your cameras, then we can all see each other practicing. It's kind of cool. Okay. So now coming back to a wide stance, shoulder width apart stance. And you're going to take your right hand and you're going to clasp your left hand right below the wrist. And the right hand is going to glue onto L5, which is a couple vertebrae above the sacrum. And then the left hand is going to come into this mudra, thumb to middle finger. Actually, holding right below the middle finger, right here, like the first knuckle of the middle finger. So I'm clasping right below the wrist, and there's two acupressure points that I'm squeezing on the pericardium meridian and the small intestine meridian on the left arm. And then I circle from the left to the right. So I'm holding the left arm and I'm circling my hips in a circle, keeping my spine one long line between my head and my hips. So this movement, very simple, as I move from left to right in a circle, nourishing the connection between the hips and the pelvis, the lower back. And I'm strengthening and tonifying what we call the belt meridian. This meridian that goes around the waist, and all of the other meridians flow through the belt meridian. And in Qigong and the Taoist arts, we talk about this area below the navel called the dantian, which is our vital center. It can be related to kind of a combination of the root chakra and the second chakra. It's this a golden cauldron in which we put all of our qi and power into. And so there's yin qi and there's yang qi. There's all kinds of different types of qi that comes from the earth and from heaven and from our food and from breath. And so we store qi in this vital center. And through aging and through also different types of depletion, the yang qi pours out from our dantian. And so this movement is tonifying the strength of what we call the qua, or this part of the body where the dantian lives. So as you do this, pull in your abdomen, like tighten through your abdomen, soft contraction. You're not doing like a samba hip exploration, really just moving the hips in a circle with a softly tightened core. And you want to breathe one full breath cycle per circle. So I inhale and then I exhale. Inhale, round halfway, exhale halfway. And just keeping your chin tucked. And usually we do 7 rotations on either side. So now we'll switch hands. So the left hand is grasping the right hand. Excuse me. And the right hand comes into this mudra between the thumb and the middle finger, first knuckle. And I'm squeezing my wrists like this between my fingers and my palm. My left hand is glued on, and now I move from right to left in a circle, nourishing the belt meridian and the dantian. Slowly warming up. Beautiful. Keeping your head upright. One circle, one breath cycle. And as we do these movements, bring the tip of your tongue on the roof of your mouth behind your front teeth, connecting these 2 meridian lines from the front body and the back body. Very fundamental practice. You'll find that in a lot of different types of meditation too. And it also helps to not lock out the jaw. A lot of people do all kinds of movements or things, and even sitting in front of the computer and working, if you put your tongue on the roof of your mouth, you will encourage that spaciousness that's healthy between the teeth. Okay, releasing that posture. Excuse me, my throat is dry. Feet together, and we float down, sitting into our knees, and our hands, like eagle talons, are holding onto the knees. So there's like 2 eye sockets below the kneecap, and you want to put your index finger in the middle one and the middle finger in the outer one, and your thumbs dig into the quadricep, and we circle through the knees, sitting down into our seat. So go as low as feels good. If you have compromised knees or any knee pain, then doing a higher rotation is great. And slowly, slowly start going deeper. But you don't want to go so deep that your feet come off the ground. You want to keep your feet fully on the ground. I'm sitting down as deep as possible. And again, bringing one circle, one breath cycle. So inhaling back and exhaling forward. And you can find a place on the wall or on the ground in front of you to look at, to find balance. And now reverse the direction. Really nourishing to the spine as we keep the spine in one line. The rotations happening in the ankles, knees, and the hips. Couple more. Inhaling, exhaling. And rising up. Wide stance. Same idea, float the hands down to the knees, and we circle the knees from out to in. The knees apart. And try to keep your spine upright, looking down towards the ground. Find balance. Reverse the direction. If you do have knee pain, this can be incredibly nourishing and transformative to your knee health. Those of you that have compromised knees, you can do this seated. You can do the whole practice seated. But if someone can't do those rotations, you can move your hands energetically around the knees in a circle and in. So elderly people, people with no meniscus, can be nourishing as well, just to show you an alternative. Coming up, wide stance. So now we're going to start connecting our hands into the movement or to the practice. So hold your hands apart from each other as if you're holding a ball out from your navel, out from your dantian. And see if you can consciously turn on the magnetic energy in your palms. There's like a little chakra in each palm called the Lao Gong point on the pericardium meridian. But it's like a magnetic point on the hands. And this is where the healer's energy emanates from. So I consciously turn on my hands. I can say, I invite you to turn on, or I just do it. It just happens. I go into the mode, like the Qigong mode or the healing mode. And see if you can fluctuate the hands back and forth. It's like you're palpating a thick honey or clay. See if you can sense this invisible force as you roll your hands over one another and rotate the hands around different directions, palpating this invisible, unseen entity of energy. Okay, so releasing that. So we take our hands on a journey, creating 2 circles. The hands move between the pelvis and then no higher than the forehead. creating a symmetry of movement. So I inhale up, and I exhale down. So my hands are coming out, they're forward, and then they kind of come together holding a column, and then they spread down. And there's an extension between my forearms and my fingers, so my wrists aren't breaking at all. My hands are almost coming back behind me and tracing this energetic field around me. Inhaling and exhaling. It's like I'm spreading my wings, I'm collecting energy, and then I'm receiving it downwards. Inhale, gather, spiral, collect. It's really important to link breath and the movement. Just one circle flowing into the next. So this is called the yang stroke. So we come from collecting above and then returning down. It's very yang structure and circle. There's this energetic pattern that extends out of our heart center called the toroidal field, or this concept of the Taurus, not like the astrological sign. And the planet has a toroidal field that extends out of the center of the planet, and so does the human heart. And so you can look at the toroidal field online, look at some pictures. It's a kind of a fascinating sacred geometric structure. And it's shown up in many different world religions. And so we're tracing the toroidal field with our hands. It's beautiful to bring in this quantum aspect to the practice. So we're connecting to our magnetic field. All right, so now we bring this movement into the full body. So I shift over to my left as I rotate softly through my spine and make the movement. I shift back to center, and then I shift over to the right. Exhale back to center. Inhale out to the left. Exhale back to center. Inhale to the right. Exhale back to center. And my feet are staying parallel, pointed towards the front, and I'm just twisting softly through the quad, through the pelvis, through the dantian. My spine is long. You tuck your chin back slightly so that your crown point is extending up towards the sky. Inhale and exhale. And if you want to bring your eyes into this, you can focus on the back hand as it circles around. Inhale and exhale. Tracing the toroidal field. Simple but powerful. Find the meditative quality of it. Find the pleasure of it. Notice the weight shifting from side to side. So right now, 60% of my weight is on my right side. Shift over, I'm putting the weight on my left side. But my spine isn't leaning forward. I'm keeping my spine upright, and I'm just reaching out with the arms and then collecting backwards. Inhale and exhale. And traditionally, we would do 7 circles on either side. We'll do 1 more on either side. And coming back to center. Now we do the opposite of that movement. So the hands, instead of coming out to in, we're going in to out, circling around, up and out. And then when we curl back, it's like we're collecting with our hands. We're collecting, and then the palms are facing up. So this is the yin stroke, coming from the earth center out to the cosmos. Expansion. Spiraling. You see how the hands are spiraling, scooping up, coming out. And the hands come no higher than the forehead. So you're keeping it, low. And open the fingers, radiate through the fingers as you do this. All right, so now we bring it into the sides, from side to side. The left side coming around, meeting back at center. The right side coming around, scooping back to center. Inhale, exhale, return to center. Inhale, up, exhale, return to center. Shifting the weight from side to side, from foot to foot, feet staying parallel to the front. And tongue on the tip of your tongue on the roof of your mouth. Sensing into your palms, what warmth and energy is there. Beautiful. Looking good. So yeah, there is a tendency to go as big as possible with the circles, but we're trying to keep the movement between the hips and the head. So we're containing the movement between the hip line and the head. So there's kind of there's a bend in the arms. We're never locking out the joints as we open up. Yeah. Beautiful. Looking good. And one more on either side. And collecting the energy back to the center, and we close by inhaling, gather the energy around us, and then guide it down our front line past the nose. Exhale, pushing the energy into the vital center. You can clasp the hands, the left hand over the right, sealing the energy into the dantian. So now we come into what we call the 7 hitting stars. So maybe you've done this kind of swinging motion before, where you swing the arms and twist the spine, and you initiate the movement from the hips. So I'm pulsing down into my legs and twisting through my hips. The arms are long. Keep your head forward so you're not twisting your head. Keeping your head forward, and the spine is twisting, the hips are moving, and the arms are swinging. Yeah. So now we are going to guide the hands to softly strike underneath the navel and the back of the sacrum. So initiating the twist with the legs and the hips, and the arms are loose and long, but we guide them softly to strike right beneath the navel, right on top of the bladder, the reproductive organs. You can tighten your abdomen if you want to have a little bit more impact to protect the viscera below. Also stimulating the pancreas. So I try to exhale between when I hit. So each hit, I'm exhaling through my nose. Yeah, and then you come up to the solar plexus. So now I've come up with my movements, hitting right beneath my ribs in the center of my abdomen. might notice there's a soreness in your abdomen. Imbalance might be there. And then I'm hit the ribs a little higher. And I'm actually making some sound. You might hear the sound coming off my body. The shoulders are loose. The arms are loose. I'm just guiding as I twist my hands to wrap around my body and strike. And then I come up to hit right underneath my clavicle, my chest, my upper pectoralis muscle above the breast. So I'm hitting high up on my back near my scapula. And then up to the shoulders. So now you start hitting the trap with kind of a knife blade. Boom. Yeah. Pulsing through the feet and twisting, initiating the movement with your hips and your lower body. The arms are swinging, but you learn to guide them to these places to strike. And then the next one is softly hitting the side of the head, right on the temple. So the back hand is hitting up on the back as the other hand is striking right next to your eyes on the temple. Softly at first. I'm intending for my index finger knuckle here to strike this acupressure point called the Taiyuan point here. So softly at first, but when you start getting the hang of it, you're hitting to stimulate the flow of energy. And so this point is in alignment with the third eye. So each of these points that we've hit have an alignment with the endocrine system and also an energetic center. And now we come up to the crown, slapping the top of the head, the crown point, crown chakra. If you're constipated, just hitting yourself on your crown point is really good. And then come back down to the head. We're going to go back down to every spot that we did already. Reverse order. And then shoulders, knife blade, hitting the trap and the gallbladder meridian. And then underneath the clavicle, the chest. Initiating the movement with your lower body, pulsing up. This is hitting the lung meridian, and then the ribs. And then the solar plexus. And then the dantian, the navel. And then shaking out, releasing the posture, vibrating, shaking through your wrists, pulsing up from the ground as if you're riding an earthquake. Releasing your breath and sound, inhaling and shaking. And find stillness and sense into the vibration and warmth tingling through the body. Inhale and exhale. And so now we come into the movement called the Weeping Willow. So just watch me at first. I'm going to bend over into a forward fold, and my hands are going to be cradling upwards, facing the sky, and I sway to one side, and then I swing up, and the palms face the sky, and I come around, and then I sway, and then I go the opposite direction, circling through the body, back and forth. Sway, create momentum, come up, palms facing the sky. So I'm not circling in one direction, I'm swaying down at the bottom and coming up the opposite direction. And the palms are always facing up, so my palms turn up and they come around, they scoop to face up. Sway, come back up. If you have a compromised back, then just doing a forward fold with the palms facing up is plenty, and you can just sway from side to side, opening up the lumbar, nourishing the fold in the hips. And it's also good to do this in direct sunlight. So sunlight's coming through my windows in this direction. So as I bend over, I'm encouraging this part of my back to be filled up with light. Back and forth. Traditionally doing 7 on each side. Breath. Exhale down, inhale up. And one more. And stay down in the forward fold, and then slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time, allowing the head to be heavy so that the head comes up last. Reaching up through the crown point, rooting down into your stance. Inhale the hands up, gathering and collecting the energy around us above the head and collecting it down past the face, exhaling through the nose. And now we bring our hands in a circle, holding about 1.5 feet in front of your chest, holding a circle. I'm going to take you through the proper body alignment for the standing meditation, which is the most important part of this whole practice. The feet are parallel, pointing to the front, pulling up through the arches of the feet. So if you have a flat foot or inversion in the heel and the sole of the foot, pulling up through the arch. The knees are externally rotated out. So if there's a falling in, you want your knees to be directly above your ankles. There's a tucking through the pubic bone and the tailbone, so the pelvic girdle is cradling the internal organs. The sacrum is long and down towards the ground. And imagine there's a weight hanging from your root, sinking you into the ground. So the knees are bent, tucking the chin back so that the cervical spine, the neck, is long. So there's an extension upwards to the cosmos through your crown point, the top of your head. This is not the top of your head. The back here is the top of the head, the crown. So by tucking the chin back, we're shooting that point up to the sky. So there's this opposition, crown to the sky, and then the sacrum and tail rooted into the ground. So deepening into the center of the earth and reaching up to the cosmos. And there's almost like a rounding through my spine, like I'm activating my turtle shell. And my middle fingers are in alignment with the middle of my chest. My index fingers are about the level of my clavicle, so are the thumbs. And soften the thumbs so they're relaxed. Imagine there's little balloons of chi beneath the elbows, holding the elbows up. Yeah. Bring the tip of your tongue on the roof of your mouth. And we stand. We stand aligned with gravity, reaching up towards the cosmos with our head, connecting to the heavens, and then reaching downwards into the ground with our stance, sinking into our knees. And just breathing belly breath in and out, noticing the quality of breath, the rise of the abdomen into the chest, and then exhaling, releasing any ujjayi breath or yogic breath if you're trained in that, making the breath silent in and out through the nose. So the eyes are mostly closed, letting a little light in at the bottom, and you can gaze out with your soft eyes into the room, or you can gaze out past your fingers like you're looking through the fingers into the void beyond. Yeah, and you know, you're gonna get tired in this position holding your arms up, and there's a power to push past that initial pain, the fatigue that might come with this. We learn over time to hold these postures through the chi and through the connective tissue, that the muscles stop working, and we hold this posture with our connective tissue, intention, our bones, and then this invisible force of chi. Like you're just resting your elbows on these invisible posts or crutches almost, just holding them up effortlessly. So there's a simplicity in this standing posture called active stillness. Breathing. If you're really getting painful with your arms, you can also hold down beneath your navel, which is what we'll end with. This is more cradling of the internal organs and the kidneys and the dantian. But I encourage you to stay up. The palms radiating back towards the heart. Standing meditation. So go into your feet for a second and extend energetic roots down to the bottom of your feet, through the floors below, down into the foundation of the home, into the earth below, to the rocks and to the soil, digging through like roots. Visualize it, see it in your mind's eye, in your imagination, digging down, going towards the center of the earth, through the earth's crust, into the fiery center of the magma below, to the center point, a golden ball in the center of the planet. Taking a hold of that center point with your roots, tethering yourself to the center of this planet. Claiming your birthright as an offspring of Mother Nature. Now you're deeply connected with the center of the earth, connecting your vital center with her vital center. You can start inhaling this vital earth energy up through your roots into your body. And stay with that for a moment, drinking in the earth's energy from below into the posture, into this vessel that you are, your human body, but this receptacle in standing meditation, pulling up this energy into this vessel. Breathing, each breath pulling up energy into your body from below. And feel it coming up into your feet and into your ankles, filling up like water to your knees, up your thighs, through your pelvis, your belly button, your lower spine, your rib cage, filling up your whole torso with this vital water from below, filling up your heart and your chest, pouring down your arms, out your fingertips and palms, filling up your neck, your throat, your mouth, your head, engulfing your whole physical form with this nourishing energy from below. And now go into your heart center in your mind's eye and see if you can see a light there in your heart, like a pulsating light. And I want you to brighten the light, make it brighter, radiate this light in all directions. And as your hands are right out in front of the heart center, encouraging this light to amplify. So as the light amplifies, see if you can sense an amplification of warmth and energy in your palms. You can pull this amplification out with your breath. Persevering past the pain, returning to the intention of the brightening. So that the light, it's like you're opening the heart and there's a great shining that's coming out in all directions. Light radiating to the front, to the behind, to the sides, below and above. So now the light is extending 6 feet in each direction. And you're standing at the center of this orb of light, a starburst, as if you're an acupuncture needle into the connective tissue of the earth. By brightening yourself, you're healing this particular spot on the planet, activating it. So we're all activated right now together, collectively, in this field that we're creating wherever we are in the world right now. Brighten, shine. And this is a great way to create a protective field around you. What comes into your auric field, or this orb of light, may it be transmuted into goodness. Whatever you receive, may it be cleansed by this light. And whatever leaves you, whatever things you say, whatever things you do, may it be cleansed by this light. Returning to the posture, feet parallel, knees bent, tucking through the hips, long spine. Relax the shoulders a little bit more, holding the posture, tucking through the chin, standing rooted. And slowly lower the hands down to cradle underneath the navel, palms facing up. Nourishing the infant. So if you're holding a baby in front of the navel, the palms are connecting to the cosmos above, rooting a little bit more deeply into your stance. Protecting the center, never collapsing. Aligning the heavens and earth between the human. Breathing, connecting to your breath. And focus in on the dantian right below the navel. And see what you see there, an oscillation of colors, of light. like an antennae radiating out to the sky. And let's close. We scoop the hands out, open out to the side, collecting the energy around us. Exhaling, bringing the energy that we've cultivated down to our vital center. 2 more times. Inhale, rising up, opening our heart to the cosmos, and exhale, root down, sinking into our stance. 1 more time. Inhale. And exhale. Bring the hands into the mudra. So the right hand is below the navel and the left hand is over, like this. Yeah. One hand over the other is fine. Doesn't matter. Different traditions do it different ways. So now we close the dantian. Swallow any saliva that's been accumulated in your mouth. Sometimes a lot of saliva accumulates. And just swallow it down into your belly. And we close the dantian by circling our palms around the navel, up the left side and down the right side. 1 circle, 1 breath. Inhale up and exhale down. And we do 3 circles in that direction. And then we do 2 in the opposite direction. Inhale up the right side and exhale down the left side. Coming back down, pausing. And once you've finished the circles, rubbing the hands together, building heat between the palms. A little faster. And then take this warmth and chi and rub it over your face. Running your fingers through your hair, all the way onto the back side of the head. Coming down and around. 1 more rubbing. And then 1 more brushing, massaging through the back of the scalp. And then taking a hold of the ears with the hands and massaging the ears like you're caressing a lover, but yourself. Or you're a massage therapist, like I'm a massage therapist and I massage a lot of people's ears, so, but I can't do massage during this time, so I get to do it to myself. And then with your fingers, tapping the jaw, releasing the jaw open, tapping around to the chin, to the cheekbones on either side of the nose, turning back to the front and the forehead, third eye, exploring all the surfaces of the head on either side of your skull, above the ears, the crown, transferring your fingers down to soft fists and drumming through the neck and down and around to the chest, drumming the chest. Inhale into your heart and exhale, release out the mouth, toning and vibrating. And then hitting down through the shoulder, supporting the elbow, and then down that arm, through the shoulder, through the upper arm, the outside of the arm, the forearm, the back of the palm, turning over into the palm, other arm coming through the chest and then the shoulder, down through the shoulder and the upper arm, the tricep, the elbow, the forearm, back the inside of the arm, and drumming down through the abdomen, pulling your core in to protect the internal organs. Clapping now with open palms, hitting the ribs and the front body at the same time. Now going down that whole side, down through the hips, the butt. And then coming to the other side, hitting the front body and the back body. And coming down through the hips and the butt, the thighs, the knees. Really slap the skin and sting it. Back up. And then brushing the cheek, smoothing it out, coming back the inside. Smoothing down the arm, caressing yourself. Both hands, moving the energy down one side through the leg, coming back the inside, swirling around to the other side, and smoothing out the whole body. And coming back to a centered place, and just stand for a moment and notice what has shifted through the practice. What is present for you in this moment? May you be healthy, integrated, strong, clear, and grounded. And take this energy cultivated today with you into the rest of your day, into the rest of your life. So now we bow out to honor the practice, honor the field, and step forward like we did in the beginning. Our hands come up into the mudra, clasping the fist, and we bow from the heart, honoring the collective field that we created together here today. Bowing back, and then closing and bowing in all directions. Connecting this web of human connection to the cosmos. You can either just bow to the ground, or I like to come down and just place my hands on the earth, bowing my head to the earth. Thank you for all the many gifts. There's so much to be grateful for in this challenging time. And thank you for coming today. I really appreciate your presence. I will be teaching through Healer Collective on Fridays. And then you can go to my website if you'd like to stay apprised of my other offerings. I'm putting here in the chat box my website with the online classes link, and oh, hold on a second. Yeah, there it is. And then again, does anyone have any questions or comments? Oh, you got to unmute here.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks. I'm activated.
Good.
Activated.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little different than yesterday.
Yeah, I mix it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Do you have a video by any chance?
There are some videos out there, but yeah.
No, I meant yours.
Yeah, it's better just to come to the live sessions if you can. But if you want, I can send you. We'll see what will happen is in a couple days you'll get a replay of today if you're signed on through Healer Collective or through WellSet.
Yeah,
Are you through WellSet?
Yeah, WellSet.
Then you'll get a recording, I think. But if you want a video, I can send you one.
How does that work?
Well, why don't you contact me through my website?
Okay, I'll do that. Yes.
So do you see in the chat box there, it says, it's macmurphy.co.
I
You can just write it down. I can tell you if you like.
Yeah. So it's MacMurphy dot what?
It's MAC Murphy, MURPHY .co/ online dash classes. And then you can also just like explore my website and see my different offerings.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
You have a great day.
You too. Where are you?
Reno, Nevada.
All right. I have family up in Red Rock above you.
In Red Rock.
It's out like north of Reno. Like
Oh, yes, right. I've been to Red Rock. There's that circle, the Red Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, out there. We used to motorcycle out there.
Diana Beggs. She's been out there for a long time.
Diana Beggs.
I have a bunch of cousins in that area. And I come to Burning Man every year. So
You won't come this year. Yeah. Anyway, thank you again.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Thanks for coming, Sean.
Sweetness and light. Thank you very much. Very much. Yeah. It's awesome.
Good that you're doing this for yourself.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's about, like you said, may you be strong, healthy, integrated, grounded, and clear.
That's
too.
right.
That's how it is. Yeah. All right.
All right. We'll see you Monday, hopefully.
Nice. Okay.
Okay.
Nice.
Bye.
All right. Bye.